North of the 10 is a brand new film that's coming to BET Plus February 10th. We have filmmaker Rhyan LaMarr here. You know him from Canal Street. He's a Chicago guy. We've got this brand new news project here. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Man, listen, thank you again for having me. It's amazing. I appreciate you.
So let's talk a little bit. This project is set on true events. Are these true events from your life? Is it one of the characters? Where did the story come from?
Listen, Don Benjamin and Braxton Smith came to me with a story literally during Canal Street. They said, we got this project that we think you might want to do. And they kind of gave me the idea of kind of what they were thinking of. And I said, I love a couple of different aspects of it, right? Because it was about, being broke and coming up. And for me, I was like, well, I too moved out to Van Nuys, California in 2005. It was me and four other dudes in a studio apartment with a hot plate, not even a stove. One guy was a dancer, one guy was a chef, one guy was a gamer, one guy was an actor, and was a filmmaker, and the filmmaker, and we just said, you know what? We're just happy to be here. No furniture, no nothing, but we're gonna make it. And we went through adversity in life just to get us north of the 10. And so if you know about north of the 10, and literally it's a freeway, in LA that gets you to Hollywood. North of the 10 is where people think their dreams are going to come true. And then where we go on north of the 10 is like, if you go past that mentally, it's just striving past 10, like striving past, to get you somewhere.
To get to your dreams. Let's talk a little bit about Don. He was born in Chicago, was here till he was about 5 years old. Did you happen to meet him in Chicago? Did you know his Chicago story? How did the two of you connect?
Listen, I didn't even know he was from Chicago until after we worked on Canal Street. Like in the middle, we were just having a conversation. I just thought he was from Minnesota. And so he was like, no, my dad's from Chicago. I got family in Chicago. So I had no idea that you were from Chicago. And I said, oh, this makes even more sense while we're connected. You know what I mean? And Don's just a really great dude. And then, just his circle, Day Storm, and What's Good and King Batch and Adam W. and Leanne V, his wife, and just all the different people that became social influencers, not on purpose, right? Because we were speaking in Clark, Atlanta yesterday, and there's actually social media influencer courses, right? This is something that this group of people out of necessity created and be influencing because they couldn't get work. And so they created their own content and became mega stars off of this phone here, which is crazy to me.
Oh, exactly. I mean, because you think, 5-7 years ago, the original people that were doing it, these are the people who have the most followers, because before everybody else jumped on it, they were the ones creating all this content. And that's why they've become the superstars they are now.
Literally.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the other cast. We have Jeff Morrow, we have Taronda Jones, we have Jaleel White. I know Family Matters was set in Chicago, so he's an honorary Chicagoan right there. George Lopez. Tell us a little bit about casting those people in the film.
Marissa Ross, who is an amazing casting director here in Chicago. She always takes on my crazy projects because I'm like I grew up looking at movies with P.T. Anderson and John Singleton, and their films had large ensembles. Films that were created with like bit parts that were big, but like ended up like, leaving lasting impressions on you. And so for me, I'm like, well, what about this person? What about this person? What about this person? Marissa's always like, let's see what they say. And then she'll call me and say, Ryan, he said yes, he'll come play. So like getting like even like with Jeff, right? Jeff coming to play with us for a day was fun, and he's a great improver, and then Taronda came and played for a day. George came and played for a day. Jaleel came and played for a day, and so you look up and it's like, you have all these came and played for a day's cameos and supporting actors and, Michael T. Williamson, and Yancey Arias, and you sit back and you're like, wow, that's a lot of people in this movie. But it's great because you have humble people that are amazing at what they do that come and play with you for a little bit. And, and you end up creating projects like this.
With that is amazing. With Canal Street, wrote it in 2005. It wasn't until 2018 when it came out. So there was a long period of time. How long were you working on North of the 10 before we got to see the light of day?
cut it down. Only 4 years this time. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't 2 lifetimes. It was only 4 years for this one, which is still a long time, but nothing's longer than writing a script in '05 and not coming out. You know what I mean, to 2018. So it took 4 years, but I would say it took 3 years of no's while we're getting this out, but it took 1 year of us just doing it ourselves, and then we just steamrolled it, and that's where we are.
Ryan, thank you so much for your time today. North of the 10, February 10th on BET is when it's going to go ahead and start streaming. Much success to you with this project. Always love catching up with you, and can't wait to chat about the next Chicago project.
And listen, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.